Hello friends, today is the 3rd May and our today's video topic which is SDLC, that means Software Development Life Cycle, which is quite important in the sense when we are working as a IT professional in IT industry, that we must have some basic knowledge about the SDLC, that how much the deployment of projects in happening in their organizations, and how they meets the client, and how to find their clients, and how to deploy the projects during that life cycle. So that means where I am going to explain you that all that there are different stages which is involved in the whole software development life cycles. So we will discuss one by one, which is when the first stage, which is requirement gathering. So in that requirement gathering, the role of business analyst is must be important, because a business analyst has meets the different type of clients, and he collect the all the informations that we needed to complete the projects. That means he find the client and meets the client and collect all the informations, which we can also say that BRS also. I am using that different type of terminology through my this video. So you keep in mind that, because when we are using that terminology, it is important to understand. That's why the when business analyst meets the client, then after that when they collect the information of that, we can also say that it is a BRS, that means business requirement specification. After that the agreements is happening there from both sides, client side and the business analyst side. So basically when the business analyst send the agreement, which is request for agreement, RFA, and in other hand the documentation which is sent by client, we can also say that it is a SLA, that means service level agreements. So these are the both documents which is quite important at the first stage of our SDLC. In another stage, the requirement specifications. So in that stage, uh, the role of system analyst is must be important, I think, because the system analyst are doing the all the documentation which collect from business analyst. They collect all the documentation, and it is ready to deployment to another and send the design analyst. So in that system analyst, the documentation, we can also say that it is a BRS, that means not BRS, I think it is a FRS. So that means a functional requirement specification. So after that the documentation is ready, or we can say the FRS is ready, then it is ready to send to the design analyst. So in that designing section, design analyst collected all the documents from the system analyst, and after that the collection, it creates the prototype of that application. That means it design that the project or the software that could be needed to the particular clients. So in that section there are three main components, I think. The first one, which is the GUI, graphical user interface, for that particular application or software, and after that the he creates the prototype of that, that means he create the dummy applications on that, and he create the design or database, and after that the application is also created in that designing section by the design analyst. In that application there are there are two levels, which is low levels and high levels. In that low levels, we can say the that in that projects, how many modules or units are included by the, or saying, or the requirements of the clients that could be included in the designing sections. And after that, in high level, the actual logic of that particular design is included in there. That means the internal implementation of a low level, of high level, it is included in the low level. So that could be the happen in the section of designing by a design analyst. After the designing of that project, the main section, which is the coding, that means the in that coding section, coding stage, the developers are must be important role in that. So developers are collect all the designing or prototype of the application from the design analyst, and after that the developers develop the actual logic of the program, and they code through the, that means we can say it is a source code documents is also available for the coding session in that developers. So after the developing or after the creating the source code documents, that means in the last stage of that software development life cycle, which is the testings. So in that testing, the role of quality analyst is must be important, I think, there, because with the help of quality analyst, it checks that or it verifies the projects or a software that could be developed by the developers. It verification and the validation it's happening in there, and after that there are some different type of testings is doing by the quality analyst. That means we can say the alpha testing and beta testing is also available in that. So after that the testing, it will be ready to deploy for the clients. That means ready for the clients, and clients checks another times, that could be how many what are the requirement of clients, and they should be fulfill of that requirements or not. The clients also check it. After that there is some other defects in that available also in that during the life cycle of that development. So there are some defects which is a bug defects, tangent defects, which is bug defect, which is in the sense we can say it is a work by the developers. So there are some different type of defects is also in that. And another one, after that the testing, it is ready to deployments. And I will tell you that all the SDLC, which is also the based on the waterfall model. Waterfall model is also implemented and so many at so many organization at now conditions. But there are some pros and cons of that waterfall model also. There are some loopholes in that. The waterfall model is advantages of waterfall model is quite it is easy to understand. It is a sequential model. It is also we can say the non-iterative model, and the waterfall model is it is a top-down approach. After that, it easy to understand or easy to get that because the step by step the requirements, or we can say the step by step follow the all the life cycle of the software developments up to the starting stage and up to the deployment stage. So that means waterfall model is quite important. But when we talk to the loopholes of that models, it means when suddenly client change its requirement at the middle of the development of that projects. That means the our projects is after the designing, it has the last stage which is a testing. So that means our project is quite ready all that 90% I think. And when we are testing, then client suddenly change its requirements. So in that waterfall model we cannot change at the testing level that requirements. For that requirements we have to back on that first stage. That means requirement gathering. From that first stage we have to change all that the functionalities or the documents which has ready for our projects. That means these are the most important loopholes of the waterfall model, I think. It has a very costly, and it is not our time saving, I think. So these are the loopholes of waterfall model. And I already told you that software development life cycle and that all that stages which is including in that. So that's all from my side. Thank you.